You've done such a great job on China communicating the threat. I want to get into China for a moment here, Mr. Chairman, because Chinese-linked cyber attacks have surged by 150% last year. That's according to CrowdStrike's annual global threat report. Hits on sectors like financial services, media, manufacturing, industrials increased from 200% to 300% in that time frame. Mr. Chairman, the House Homeland Security Committee passed the Cyber Pivot Act out of committee this week. Tell me about this threat of cyber. Who's getting impacted, and how important is this pushback on communist China?
Well, it's absolutely critical. And again, it comes back to willpower. We have the capability, to stand up and go on the offensive in cyber, and we need to do it. It's time that we act and show the Chinese that we're not going to tolerate the fact that they're in our infrastructure. They're in our water systems, our power systems. They invaded our telecoms. They're in AT&T and Verizon's systems right now. I mean, and they could turn them off if they wanted to, we believe. So imagine if Russia or China put a satchel charge against a cell tower. Americans would be livid, blew up a cell tower. But China basically has the ability right now to do those kinds of acts of espionage and acts of war by invading our telecoms and our infrastructure. It's unacceptable, and it's time we push back. And I agree with my former colleague, Mike Walls, who's now in the administration. It's time to go on the offensive. But we've also, this issue with the Pivot Act, the number one challenge we have is the number of people that we've been training to be cyber experts. Director Wray, when he was leading the FBI, came in and testified and said if he put every cyber person he had on the China desk, he'd still be outnumbered 50-1. We have 500,000 empty jobs in this country, and so we created a scholarship program that will put kids into cyber fields, pay their way. They pay the government. They pay the taxpayer back by serving the government at all levels of government, and this is how we start the step. I mean, readiness is about right people in the right jobs. That's the number one thing, of the 5 things that are critical with readiness.